property business.
Property business? Do you have a creator that you work with in the property business?
Yeah, my husband.
Your husband?
Yes.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. But by the way, opposites often attract, right? I mean, you can use all of this wealth dynamics, science dynamics for your relationships to really realize, oh, that's why you're so different. Okay, and so when you have a challenge with him, what's going on? What normally happens?
Sometimes it's planning ahead.
Yes.
So I'll say, well, what about this winter? What are we going to do?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. It's hard to explain. And then later on, it's like, oh, we should have done that. And I'm like, yeah, I was asking you this a while ago, but it's too late to do it now.
Right.
It's that sort of thing, sort of planning ahead. Getting to things on time as well.
So he's more intuitive in that he kind of goes with it at the right time, but you want to make sure there's a plan of some sort, or at least get an idea or work ahead of things, right? Yeah, that's right. Do you think there's something missing between you and him and where you're at the moment? Or
no, because we've been together sort of 20 years.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm in a relationship.
We've learned to work around it, I think.
You've learned to work around it. How often do we get that, right? It's like, we just make do with the situation. Would you like me to share with you the one key thing that would make all the difference?
Yes, please.
Yeah? Okay, by the way, in your business, if you were to add a 0 to your income, your revenues and everything, what do you think the one thing that's missing? Is it, not enough systems? Is it not having the right plan? Is it not having, enough access to the market or to the customers? What do you think it is?
Access to market.
Exactly. All right. I'm going to show you why that's the gap and what it is that you can do, not just traders and creators, but anyone on two sides, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the key thing, right? So first of all, can we get the traders around, boss? The key thing is knowing that if you've got a partnership, there's only two people, and you're the opposite of each other, you are going to be like a seesaw. It's going to be either one's up, one's down, and you're never actually going to create flow. Because flow doesn't occur with two polarities on their own. It occurs as a result of a cycle getting created. Even a north and south pole, it needs to have a current in order for that whole flow to start. And so, as a result of that, understanding that the biggest thing that's missing from her and her husband is the third person. Right, then, like Pythagoras says that establish a triangle and the problem is 2/3 solved. Once you have that third person, that becomes the translator, because we're speaking opposite languages. So a trader and a creator cannot actually communicate. I mean, they can make do with each other and get that they're different, but that's not actually going to allow them to collaborate in the most effective way. If you have a trader who's actually quite intuitive, so for creators here in the room, having a trader might sound like a good thing, but if you actually get a trader on board, and that trader then is the person who's going to be somehow keeping you, like, holding the kite string while you're actually up there, it's going to feel like there's a conflict almost. It feels like it's like, well, they totally don't understand who I am. They keep on saying it's more important for me to be on time, when in fact it's not about being on time because, I got my best idea 5 minutes late, and so, so we actually have these kind of like tensions where it's like we've got different priorities. So there's a 1, 2, 3 system, which is the best way for you to build a team. If you think about where you're at is number 1. If you're a creator, number 1 is obviously where you are. And then the second point is 2 steps around, right? So you go 1, 2. It's this person here, which is the supporter. You're missing a supporter in your team. A supporter is someone who actually will go out there and connect with the market, and that's the one area which you're missing. So the two of you are trying to figure out how to do things without any leverage. Right? You've got the value of the intuitive side, you've got the value of the timing, but you haven't got the leverage of the people to actually bring it all through. And if you did, and you all of a sudden 10 times people investing in your properties or tenanting your properties, then suddenly you'd be busy with your timing at a whole different level instead of trying to actually manage the timing of your creator. And so this is about how the earth comes from the fire. Right now you're trying to get the wood and just tie it right into the earth and wonder why you're getting stuck in the roots instead of actually turning it into fire first. Right, so you're missing a component. If you have the second person who's a supporter, which is why someone who's a trader, someone creator, like should be looking for supporters to run your businesses for you. Suraj runs my Genius U business. He's a supporter profile. Michelle, who runs all of the partnerships, is a supporter profile. So you want to have someone in number 2. Number 3 is 1, 2, 3. It's this one here. Why? Because this establishes the triangle. Right. Now, if this was a stool, you could actually make a stable stool with 3 legs. If you have all at the top, it falls over, right? A whole bunch of creators together, disaster, right? Or if you have like just one or the other, that's still very wobbly both ways, right? You're going to end up falling over in the systems or falling over in the people, almost always falling over the people first, because that's the gap. So this is the same 1, 2, 3 that you'll find all famous wealth creators in any of the profiles. If you're a star, Oprah Winfrey only made it big when she found a deal maker. Right, so this one here is a star link, which looks like that. That's also the triangle, deal maker, and then a lord, and it's 1, 2, 3. Right? Same if you have someone like a deal maker, right? Someone like a deal maker, Donald Trump. And I've still got Donald Trump on there as a deal maker, even though a lot of people don't like his politics, because he still makes his wealth as a deal maker. And as a deal maker, you know, when he had what's his name? George Ross. George Ross was his lawyer, who basically was his accumulator to do the deals. He could do much bigger deals because he got all the paperwork right? So understanding 1, 2, 3, or creators will want building and development. That's what a deal maker does. Again, it's the same thing. So wherever you are, you know, star, support it. You're starting from 1, you go to 2, you go to 3. Now imagine you're a trader and say, what's happening? The first person I need as a trader is going to be number 2 person for me is going to be the Lord. Well, if you're George Soros and you're trading the markets, the answer is yeah, you need a Lord to count up all the trades. But if you are working in someone else's team, you could be number 3 in the team. Right? So for example, you could say, okay, well, I've got my creator, we're going to get ourselves a supporter, we can find that person in this room right now. I'll take on the role, even though I'm a trader, I can take on an accumulator type role, which means I'll do the numbers, I'll get the detail done. We'll create a triangle between us, and now the person who will then translate to you when your creator husband isn't actually kind of like, you know, doing the things you want to do, you don't need to be the one showing up saying, hey, you're not doing this. You can get your Blaze supporter to be the one who actually tells him, right? And then that's going to be a translator between you and him that actually makes the conflict go away and allows you to actually both to be a positive influence while you've actually got someone who is not either the accelerator or the brake. That's the person changing the gears, right? Which we will need. Does that make sense to everyone? Right, so just keep that in mind. You're going to have a chance to absorb this as we go through more, but I just wanted to share that on, this is the 1, 2, 3 formula for building a team. A team is not 2 people, that's a partnership. A team is 3 people. You need a minimum of 3 if you're going to go get venture capital funding, or they'll always look for at least 3 people. They won't just look for 2. And just be really aware of that as you start evolving your team. Flow occurs when 3 exists. Let's come over next to our mechanics. Can we give our mechanics